and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Pork and Bean Show, starring two of the world's foremost ascended disasters, Pork Cunningham, and the world's handsomest man, Frank Oliver Bean. Sit back, relax, and stay a while, and access the far recesses of your imagination, as far as the universe that you can imagine beyond. And let us introduce you to the world of the Sasquatch people, and their message of love, their message of hope, and their message of connection.
It's not exactly.
Well, that's good. That's exactly. So anyway, Beans, oh, by the way, good morning, Frank Oliver Beans.
Peace and love.
You know,
I love the Pork and Bean Show.
you know, my brother, well, hopefully I'm your brother after I give you the news here. Anyway, you know the old mailbag segment we used to have? Our beloved mailbag segment?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, well.
I still have scars from that.
Well, I've got a confession to make. Edna Ricketts, there's about 1,000 letters from Edna Ricketts in here. She's
Edna Ricketts.
Remember that old spinster Edna Ricketts?
She was a cellmate.
Here's just one of them. I mean, this is the gist of it, okay? This is the gist of it.
Waco, Texas.
Yeah. Wacko. She's more like from Wacko, I think.
Municipal jail.
She says, "Dear Mr. Polk," and she even spells it like, you know, the Polk Salad Annie. So you know she's a Southern girl. She calls me Mr. Polk, P-O-L-K. You know, like our friend Polk Palmer. Dear Mr. Polk, do you reckon that Mr. Beans is a single man? I'm really yearning to hook up with an educated spiritual man. And, you know, I ignored these for quite a while, but...
So you think I should give her an answer?
Well, here's the thing. Here's my confession. She's one of those old broads.
Can I say thing for that lady?
Can I say old broads? Can you say old broads these days? You know, and in the old Frank Sinatra days, that was like, you know, hey, those old broads, that was okay to say, right? Anyway, this old dame.
She was a looker back in their day.
Yeah, this old dame is the type of old dame that like puts like millions and millions of dollars under her mattress, kind of person. So, like blood is thicker than water, but you're not exactly my blood. And money's money speaks a lot more than water too. And like she's offered me a lot of money to betray your location, shall we say?
Just tell her I'm a Georgianian.
Oh no, I've given her like the coordinates, so she's got you pinpointed down to within 5 blocks. Hey
Within
man, I mean
five
she offered
blocks.
5 blocks, so
In Savannah, Georgia, USA.
yeah, she's got you down to within 5 blocks. So I mean, keep an eye out for her. She's got blue hair, no teeth, and she's gunning for you.
Well, maybe she got enough money for some nice barbecue dinner. I might talk her into. I might hook up.
Hey man, she's got money. She's got money. Like she sent me a few checks already. It took I was loyal to you up until a point, but
Yeah,
there's always a selling point, right?
as long as you profit from your friends.
Anyway, it was nice to hear from Edna again. But Edna, if you're listening, I don't really need 1,800 letters a week.
Come on down.
Drop us a line once in a while, and once you find Mr. Beans, then I guess you want to
Go out and get some. We can go out and get some barbecue and pork and beans. I'll supply the beans.
Yeah. So I wonder if. Oh, okay. Well, do you want to start the show early, or what do you want to do?
Take away. Yeah, listen. You got to get Mr. SASQUATCHing on here because he's only got a half hour and we're already cutting into it. Yeah, so if he's sent a what you call it?
Where's I can't see where. Wait a minute. They seem to have changed this now. I can't see where all the people are. The invite people are now. Oh, view. Wait a minute. No. Where's all the people now?
There's no people because we're not on Facebook yet.
Oh, okay. So I can't see who's waiting to come on. No, I can see who's waiting to come on here, and I can't see that.
Well, I have no idea.
Where it
You're
says
the master of
participants.
disaster. Maybe he didn't send you what you call it yet.
No. Don't you know what I mean? I can't see where it says participants. I seen you for some reason when you came on, but no, I can't see it.
It's at the bottom of the screen.
I know it used to be, but I can't see it now. They must have changed it.
At the bottom of the screen, it says chat, participants. Participants chat, share screen.
Where? I see mute, stop video, security, share screen, and more. That's all I see.
Well, hit the more, see what happens. How'd you get me?
Oh, participants. Okay, you know what? That's weird. That never used to be like that. They've changed that. Or I've changed something. Anyway.
It says participants, PARTIC, and like that.
I don't know. Was our little routine there any funny, or was it too rehearsed?
It was editable. You can edit it out if you want.
That bad, eh?
Well, you were supposed to do the setup, and in the setup, it's, you got to do the setup. Besides that, what else could I say? Either yes or no, or I don't care.
Okay, do the setup. Like, what do you mean do the setup? We can still do it again because when nobody's here. What do you want me to do? How do you want me to set it up?
I'm not doing it again. It's not funny once. It's not. I'm not going to be funny the second time.
Yeah, it just might be. Sometimes things get so bad that that there's that point where stuff gets so bad that it gets funny, like some of those Japanese Godzilla movies and stuff.
Edna Ricketts. I don't know what the fascination. I think you got a thing for Edna Ricketts.
No, it was you and her in the Shady Days Motel, room 16. I don't know what went on there, but I think you go way back to that with her. There's some connection. Some sinful past she don't want to talk about.
I ain't no saint. No complaint.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's that Animal song. Ding 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 ding. We should bring that one back for Pork and Beans for nostalgia.
I ain't no saint. No complaints.
Okay, here he is. So let's start the show. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to put it on Facebook right now, and then I'll bring him on. Okay.
Is he even knocking on the door?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me just get this going quickly.
We could say, take away your chitlins, take away your greens, 'cause mama's little children love pork and beans. Pork and beans in the can, pork and beans in the pan, pork and beans. Wow, we love pork and beans.
Candy, candy, candy.
Handy, handy, handy.
Okay, I'm just typing this in, and then we'll bring him on. Okay. Hey, my name is Pork Cunningham, and I'm here with my distinguished honorable co-host, the world's handsomest man, the diabolical Frank Oliver Baines. And this is the Pork and Bean Show, and let's get down to business right away. We'll bring some of these people on. We're having a round table show today, so.
Round table.
Round table.
And there is the master of all media.
Gather around the table, my friends.
My best friend.
So looks
from the
like
res squatching.
Where's Barry? You should be. Why do I see you twice, Beans?
You see me twice.
Hey, there's Barry.
You're looking good, Barry? Man.
Hey, hello, guys.
Welcome to the show. How are you? Nice to see you again.
I'm doing good.
Look at that.
Holy
Got
smokes.
some guns.
I used to have guns like those.
Husker style, brother. ain't no bulldogs here, you know what I mean?
What's that white stuff on your chin?
That's his wisdom, brother.
Oh, wisdom. Okay. That's what they call it.
I like that line. That's good. I like that. Yeah.
I don't have very much up here. A little bit right there. So you're getting all salt and pepper. Pretty soon they're not going to tell who's older and who's not. You're the youngster. You're the baby boy.
So how you been doing, Barry? Haven't seen you for a while. What's been going on with you?
Oh, not a whole lot, man. Just work, taking care of business. I had some guests over about 2 weeks ago. And otherwise, just staying busy. Just staying busy.
Yep. What's going on with the Sasquatch with you? Anything?
Oh man, I'm investigating. One of my relatives. They just been getting terrorized. And poor dogs. And there's a couple of videos they played for me, and you know, they thought it might be coyotes, but after what I've seen, there was some eye shine in the background, so something's going on. Even the
Yeah.
even their cats getting terrorized.
Can you
So
can you go in there and smooth things over? Or?
well, I don't know. We're definitely going to investigate and see what's going on.
Yeah, because I mean, you got the connection with the Sasquatch people. You hopefully, or theoretically, you go in there and maybe talk to them and try to get a meeting of the minds or the hearts or something going on between the two parties, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's kind of the hopes. We'll see.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. So, what else has been going on as far as Sasquatch with you?
Well, I was on a couple shows. Manimal Manimal Research.
Oh yeah, Manimal. They're good people.
Yeah. Then I was on P3 with Gary Spikes Jr. and Senior. So that was a good show.
Well,
Awesome.
you got the good stuff.
So,
Yeah.
Manimal sounds like an interesting show. Who puts that one on?
Ain't
Uh,
that's C Wayne? I forget his last name.
Wilson?
No.
Tedabrow.
Yes. Yes. Something like that. He's a good guy.
Yeah. Yeah. They're good. They're fairly new, from my understanding.
So,
And
what's his take on them? That they're men or they're people? I take it. Is that his take on it? That they're people?
well, I'm not sure what their take is, but they definitely heard it from me.
Well, that's good, man. That's good. Yeah, you got to speak the truth on the Forest brothers for sure. That's
Yeah.
if you don't speak respectfully about them, then what are you speaking of? What are you doing, right?
Yeah.
I look
Yeah.
at it. Yeah,
So how you guys been?
pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, I've been having a lot of Sasquatch activity going on lately. Like I don't know if you and I discussed it last time you were on the show, but I've always found like with my journey with them, there's lulls in activity and you don't maybe feel them quite as much or whatever. And I find that's a simulation period for me. You're catching up to the downloads and all the information, whatever. Because every time I come out of them, it's just like I have a bigger knowing. And this last time, it's just been huge. So it's been pretty wild. Yeah, even starting to um, have some stuff going on with elementals a little bit. So I don't know where that's
Mm,
going to go, but I guess we'll see.
yeah.
Just before the show, I was out in my front yard there, talking to the trees. Oh, hey, trees, good day, and all this. And this woodpecker flew right above me. I was looking at that. Oh, that's kind of nice. So that's what kind of bird that is, a woodpecker. And then he started pecking on this rotten limb. And then it's like I was getting showered with all these little bits of bark and stuff. I thought, okay, that's like a little message from somebody. So I just said thank you, and he flew away. I thought that was kind of funny. That's not exactly about Sasquatch, but I felt it was like I was actually thinking the Sasquatch say, "Talk to the trees and listen to the rocks." So I was talking to the tree, and then this little shower. It was actually like a little shower of these little barks because it was rotten wood. So, not too exciting, but that's my story for today.
Yeah. it's really wonderful when you get that connection with nature going on. I can remember, a few times this kind of stuff happened, but one time in particular, I'm drumming my drum and making up my own song, talking about the woodpecker and thanking the elk for the skin on the drum and whatever. And I'm like just right in my own space out in nature or whatever. And as soon as I finished the song about the woodpecker, uh, instantaneous a woodpecker call, like clear as a bell, like just sharp and really loud. So it's getting in that connective place with nature is like really special.
Hey Barry, didn't I was thinking when we had this guy on Golden Golden Light Eagle,
Chief Golden
eh,
Light Eagle.
Chief Golden Light Eagle, yeah, and he was kind of talking about the Indians get all their wisdom from animal spirits, from like the rocks and the trees and the crow and and I thought, you know, what a way to get your wisdom. The wisdom comes from talking to the animals and talking to the spirits. Is that the way it is in your tradition there, Barry?
Yeah, yeah, I remember one of my grandpas used to they they talked about that a lot, and so I I don't disagree with that or even have a really a negative opinion other than that's what they believed, and yeah, that's what some of my people still believe today.
Well, it's like, that the whole story of the tree, we breathe out, the tree breathes in, and that all connected, all one.
Yeah,
That's some pretty deep wisdom, really.
yeah, no,
Well,
I agree. I always, the furthest I'll go, and I agree with all of it. If you're, but the only thing I can really relate to is sure, being out in the woods is a beautiful feeling, but we camped about 2 weeks ago, and I can tell you that surreal feeling of maybe the grounding from the dirt, the ground, but that just does something for me. I enjoy. I don't want to say sleeping, but just being out there,
yeah,
with nature. So I,
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, and there's a lot of wisdom for humans out there, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Well, look at all these people who go around all in nature with whatever all the time with bare feet or whatever. They're connecting right with the earth, and it's just there's a real connection with nature. Um,
They
it's
got a t-shirt on, I guess that means there's no more snow out there, huh?
yeah. Actually, it's supposed to reach 80 degrees here
oh wow. Where you
today. So
where you located again?
I'm in beautiful Nebraska where they play good football.
Absolutely, they do. Cornhuskers.
You bet. See, Michael don't know nothing about that. He's
No, no,
still stuck
no.
in the
I'm out of the loop.
yeah.
We got a
Oh,
baseball team in Savannah called the Savannah Bananas. That's about as level of that's about the level of sports we got over here.
Do you really have a team called the
The
Savannah
Savannah, it's
Bananas?
the Savannah Bananas. I swear that's what they are.
I'm surprised they haven't banned that name. I mean, they got rid of a bunch of cartoons or whatever. Savannah. Well, I guess they'll be coming for that eventually when they find
They're,
out
they're,
maybe it's
they're
just
they're
not
going to
out.
build a stadium. They're going to build like a big sports stadium here in Savannah. But then they got the mask and lockdown, so they're going to build a stadium. Then nobody can go. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. I think when talking about in nature, or whatever, everybody who goes out in nature, even people who are like in this, on their computers all week or whatever, they feel something. So there is an invitation once you go out into nature for a higher learning or a higher understanding or a connective understanding or whatever, and everybody feels it to some degree. I think it's just if you want to take advantage of it, or if you can, take advantage of it and nurture it, I suppose. But I like that. Your relative's way is, as far as the teachers being the stones and the mountains and the eagles and the birds and all life or whatever. Because I kind of feel that I kind of resonate with that too very much. I think the Sasquatch do too. Myself. So,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
When you go out in nature, right? You're not a big shot in nature. You're a big shot in your house, and in your car. But in nature, there's things out there bigger than you, and skies above you, and the trees are all taller than you, and we're not really big shots out there. We got it. That's really that's really who we are. Is this is just a creature on this planet.
Oh, I don't know. You were kind of a big shot. Remember when you went out in the woods for the first time in what, 50 years?
Yeah,
That little video, you were getting a lot of love. You were a big shot for, you had your 15 minutes.
yeah, but okay.
But anyway, so
Yeah, I went out the first time I went out and I ever went out in the woods, and started seeing all kind of signs there. It's a ton of signs, but then again, I already knew that those woods had some activity in them, and I already knew that wherever there's people go, to go for a walk, the Sasquatch, a good chance they'll be around because I like to watch people walking around.
yeah, absolutely. Well, that little, I made a little video on YouTube about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Remember I made that little video where I was doing the glyphs and I was showing people how I make them and kind of what they mean to me and whatever. Remember watching that one? No?
Yeah.
Anyway, I went back yesterday and they changed them all around and made their own stuff. So that was pretty cool. Made a little video on that, but I'm behind on the pork and beans ones. I had some problems downloading stuff, but I'll get caught up. But yeah, that was pretty cool. So they were interacting with the glyphs again.
So Barry, I'm glad you're good doing the shows because you got a lot of stuff to say now. I remember back when we first talked, you didn't even want to talk on the shows too much, but now like everybody wants to talk to you because you got the inside track.
You talking to me,
Barry,
Barry, or me?
Brian, this is our guest, Barry Webster.
Oh, okay. Because I knew you weren't saying something nice about me. So okay, yeah, absolutely. Barry was great. Yeah. Sorry, man.
Yeah, well, Michael, thanks for that.
He's just never said anything nice about me before.
Whenever I see Barry Webster's on this show or that show, I always tune in because I know it's going to be good.
Well, absolutely, because Barry talks from his heart or whatever. He understands the Sasquatch people. There's very few that do. So.
Well, he has a lot of experience, and he quit. He stopped counting at 130 sightings. What can you say about that? What can you say about somebody who's seen Sasquatch? He gives us just can't count anymore.
So what are you doing lately, Barry? Are you still people coming in and you're introducing them to the Sasquatch? Are you still doing that kind of stuff?
Well, and I don't, in case somebody's watching this, I'm not open for business or anything, but if it feels right and if the people I trust, we'll plan something over the weekend, but otherwise it's just not, it's open for business or anything like that. I just play it by feel, pray about it and see what happens.
Yeah, I agree with that because they connect you with the people that you're supposed to connect you with. So if that kind of stuff happens, you got to kind of pay attention, right? That's what you're saying, basically.
Yeah. Otherwise, and I've said it already I think I said it on P3, their show. What was it? I'll have some guests up Um, I'll have Igor Bursev from Russia. He's going to come back. What is that? April 24th, or yeah, 25th and 26th, I believe.
He's going to come back to your area?
Yeah.
That guy's amazing. Did you see that video he made of there was a Sasquatch in the I don't know if you saw that, but it was amazing. And they were throwing pots and pans at each other. It was hilarious.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it was like, he's way out in the woods. There's an old broken down cabin, got no door on it or anything. Maybe it's like a shed or something. And there was a Sasquatch. I think it was a young one in there. It was the most amazing video I'd ever seen.
Wow.
That guy is incredible.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. Then MK Davis is also coming.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I'll have a nice. There's another gentleman, I can't remember his name, but he was kind of known for having a handprint, having a casted handprint. I can't remember his name, but I'm a little excited about having them.
Yeah.
We'll do that here toward the end of the month, and then I think we have a little group get together. So otherwise, just kind of slowly easing into the COVID-19. Hopefully there's an end to that.
Yeah.
And otherwise, pretty excited. Looking forward to actually doing going on a little what I would call maybe a journey. I'm gonna actually try and break bread with them this time.
Wow.
Yeah. And what's your definition of breaking bread? Like, tell us what you mean by that. In reference to you and them.
Well, basically, I'm gonna share a meal with them and see if they'll actually take the meal if they don't finish it.
You're talking about more than gifting. You're talking about actually sitting down to a meal with them.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So what would you do? Like put their food like on the side of a tree or something, or what? I don't know if they're gonna. You think they might come in and sit around the fire with you or something?
Maybe I haven't. I don't have it totally figured out yet, but it'll come to me on what I need to do.
Yeah.
Well, what I'd like to see you do is have like a big camping convention, like like the other people have, where they just invite like a few hundred people, and then you find a big piece of land out there to camp on, and it'd be primitive camping. But what a fun thing that would be. Do that once a year.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that sounds like a great idea.
It would bring a little money into the community too, because they'll be buying food and stuff.
Yeah. No, that's a great idea, Michael.
Because I think Brian's doing it, and a few other people are doing it. And it's not like a big. Usually, it starts off the first year with like 17 or 18 people, and then it builds up to being a pretty good sized thing.
Yeah.
I think everybody wants to know what's going on with on the reservations, because the Indian people have the best or the longest connection with the Sasquatch, and that people feel that.
Yeah. No, that's a great idea. I'll take that back to my team, and again, everything's dependent upon the COVID.
Yeah. So, do you? I know. Like the Chehalis Indians up in my area, a lot of the First Nations people up here, they have ceremonies where they will. I'm not going to say pray to the Sasquatch, but they will honor them, or like they will other animals. Whatever. Do you do anything? Any kind of ceremonies or anything to honor them or whatever? And I know they're not like gods. I'm not going there. We've already talked about that. But do you honor them as part of nature or nature spirits, or do you have any kind of rituals that you do or that you suggest to people?
Well, I don't know that I have any rituals, but I will say this, that my people hold them in high regard. So we do pray for them and pray with them.
And and how do you look at them? How would your people describe them as another people,
Well,
or what would your words be to describe them?
well, what would my words be? Let me. There's two schools of thought. One is that they're hubei. My people believe that they're holy, and I talk about that all the time. And they come from God basically. And more specifically, Res Squatching's belief is this: is that I believe, I should say we believe that they're descendants of Cain, and I've came out and said that several times now, and I make no bones about it. Unless I see them get off a UFO, then I don't go there. Um, but otherwise, we don't look at them as gods. We just look at them as part of God's creation and His people. You know.
Mm-hmm. So you don't put any much stock into the UFO and Sasquatch connection, or you just or
Well, I don't rule anything out. But again, unless I see them get off a UFO, then I don't really have an opinion about it.
yeah, yeah. No, fair enough. I've seen UFOs and them in the same vicinity when stuff was going on. I haven't actually seen them get off it yet.
Yeah, I hear you.
So, Mr. Beans,
Well, we got something going on here, man. What's going on?
what do you mean? We're recording. We're on Facebook. Everything looks good.
I'm not something not right yet.
Well, in what way?
People saying they can't get on, but Barry got on.
People saying they can't get on? Well, I'm not going to stop it and send the link again. Why can they not get on?
I don't know. Dale Lyons said he can't get on. Who Hizzle says hi. Barbara Soup's in the house. Good morning. Renee Sharan said good morning. So there's people in the group, but then when I look in the group, it says like and comment, but it doesn't have share. So I mean, you can't share the damn thing. So I'm not sure what's going on with it.
Oh boy. Well, how did Barry get on? Hang on a second. Let me go back and try to put the link.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense.
Barry got on with the same link so okay, but hang on a minute. Anyway, take the conversation over there, Beans. I'm going to try to figure this out.
No, you're okay.
Yeah, but I can't talk.
We can share on Facebook, but it can't share when you zoom it up, when you zooming in.
No. I want to get this link so other people can come on. So you do what you got to do, and I'll try to.
What do you mean you want to get this link? There's nothing you can do about it.
Well, I'm going to try to resend it. Is what I'm saying.
Send it to who?
To people who are trying to get on, Beans. Aren't people trying to get on this?
I don't know. Well, Dale Lyons said he wanted to try to get on.
Okay, well. Okay, well, I'm going to put it right back into. There it is. I just put it in the Pork and Bean Show live in the comments, so I can't be going and sending anybody.
That's what I got. I got the exact same thing. So now it's in there 3 times.
Okay, well, I don't know. If Barry got on, then people can figure it out. I guess that's the best I can do.
Yeah, they'll figure it out, or maybe we'll just have Barry on and that'll be it. Barry is the star guest.
I thought you said Barry only has half an hour.
Huh?
How much time you got, Barry?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were driving, but it was just cars are driving by you. Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, tell us something exciting or something that like something that Sasquatch did this last couple months.
Who, me?
Yeah, you got anything interesting or?
Yeah. If you go onto the page, you'll actually see it. So tonight I'm investigating a relative's yard, and they sent me a video, so we posted it, and they were like everybody else. They believed it was coyotes terrorizing their dogs, but I clearly saw, eye shine, and these dogs weren't. There's a difference between them interacting or getting aggressive towards a sitonga or even a juvenile versus coyotes. And these guys were just going crazy. Even the cat on the video, you see the cat going crazy. And I really, at the start, I really didn't see anything. But then about 12 seconds in, you can see this eye shine on the left and the right. So they were dealing with, I believe, sitongas. And so um, I'll be going out tonight with my thermal. So hopefully they don't, I can be discreet enough to maybe get something on my thermal. So that's kind of, I'm looking forward to that for a couple of reasons. Uh, there's been two solid and very credible reports of people in broad daylight seeing this shimmery figure jump from tree to tree. So I'll be also looking in the timber for that kind of activity. I think that is one of many ways they travel.
Yeah. How do you think animals? You know how animals can perceive them better than we can. Like I've had walking my dogs and they've stopped in the middle of the path and looking out in the bushes, wagging their tail because they know the Sasquatch, and they're not afraid of them. But they perceive them. So when they're cloaked, how do you think animals perceive them? Energy wise, or they can see them with their eyes more? Or you ever thought of
I,
that?
I think it I think it's a little bit of both. You know, you know yourself that they're that whatever they're giving off, whether it's infrasound, I just think they're just as frightened as we are, or confused, or whatever word you want to use.
Yeah.
Am I there? Hello?
Hey, Dale, how you
Hey,
doing?
hey.
You figured her
Good.
out.
I figured it out, man. Sorry about that.
No worries. Do you know Barry?
I do not.
Okay, well, Barry, this is Dale, and Dale, this is Barry, and
Hey, Dale,
Hey, man. How you doing?
Hey,
doing
Good to
all
Dale.
meet you.
right.
Good to meet you, Barry.
Trying to
Yeah,
get some
same
views
here.
going.
I'm
are,
sorry, say again?
I'm trying to get some views going, share it out to a few groups.
Oh, I
are
see.
you driving, Barry, or
No, I'm in the passenger seat.
oh, who's the driver?
Yeah.
My wife.
Can she say hi? I was wondering. I'm thinking, man, that's some pretty cool optics there. Okay, yeah, there you go. So, Dale, what's been going on with you lately?
Not much. Just trying to uh, find some areas here where I relocated to in uh, Eastern Washington. There's some everything is still covered in snow, so it's not. Sadly, it's not like down in Oregon or something, and
Oh,
so it's not accessible. But just been, even when I'm at home, I have a relationship, where I can work with them. As soon as I get like on my page and stuff, I basically am squatching. So I know that sounds weird, but uh, uh, I'm looking forward though to going and getting some new material. See what's going on in North Idaho.
Yeah, it actually doesn't sound weird because they're get a connection with them. They're with you all the time. Like I feel them every day, so it doesn't seem
Indeed.
weird at all. So you're up around close to Idaho, eh? I know some people up that way. Who am I thinking of? Margaret Goner. Goner, have you heard of her?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Anyway,
I
that
don't
sounds
think.
like. But so anyway, so how long you been in this new area?
I moved here in October, and it got cold quick. It snows a lot up here, so. But yeah, when I get on, like you're saying, they're always around, and so I've just been trying to put some effort into my page, and
Yeah. What do you say on that, Barry? Barry?
Yeah, repeat
What
that
do you
again.
feel, what do you say on that? You always feel them, their presence around too, their energy, and
Yeah, there's, like during, if I'm out squatching, I can, but like now we're running errands and taking care of family business. You obviously don't feel nothing, but yeah, for the most part, especially in my hot spots, that's always interesting.
I'm talking about like, I mean, feeling them at home and whatever, because like I feel them like doesn't matter where I am, I feel them all the time. As a matter of fact, I felt them. They were calling me in to come into the woods the other day, and this is kind of funny because they always seem to do it when I'm headed to work. But it was a really beautiful sunny day too. They had something for me they wanted me to see, and they were calling me there. But I almost called in sick too. But and I went in the next day, and yeah, they did have something. But that's what I was talking about because with me, I feel them like all the time, like constantly. Not like and it doesn't feel like an intrusion. It just feels like
it's really interesting the way you feel it too. It's different than anybody else, Brian.
who
It
me?
is you, yeah,
Why
yep,
is why do you say
sure is.
that? I mean,
Uh, because they showed me. They showed me, the way that energy courses through your torso, uh, that's different. That's different than mm, probably anybody else with the relationship. That is their gift to you.
well, talk a little bit about that, and I don't want to make it not because it's about me, but it's interesting because I want to because you've never really said that. When did you discover that, and what do you know about it?
When we first hooked up, when we
When we went
first
up to
hooked up that day,
when we went up to
remember
your
I picked,
place. Sorry, when
yeah,
we went up
when
to
I
your place. Okay, go ahead.
okay, but where we met up there in that parking lot, okay, and and as soon as we hooked up and we started driving, uh, you said you told me, yeah, I always feel their energy when they're around me, and they showed me exactly what you feel, exactly, and it ran through my torso. It was like wow, you know, my 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 chest fills with warmth
Oh
when
yeah,
I'm,
absolutely.
that's how I know that they're around me, and um it's but that's really cool. I mean, how they how you're able to feel them, Brian. That's really special.
Well, I mean, hey, we all we should all be grateful for the way they're connecting with us in individual ways. Like, I get some really unique stuff that nobody else gets, and people get stuff that I don't get. But
Yep.
it's just all their unique mix and how they want to work with the individual. So, in that way, you just got to be grateful for it and not really envy anybody, because it's actually a privilege and a unique
It
journey, specifically scripted and designed for your strengths, and and whatever. So
Well, I have a question. Maybe I'll ask Barry first. How has your life changed with Sasquatch? And then Dale, you can answer that same question when Barry's finished. If Barry's connection is good, I don't know if his connection is good.
he's frozen.
He's frozen. Did you hear that question, Barry?
No, I did.
How's your life changed with Sasquatch?
How's
From the
my life
before and
changed
after?
with Sasquatch? Well, I definitely have a obviously a deeper understanding, that's for sure. Um, life and people's opinions, and oh, the non-believers, that stuff don't bother me no more, um, in terms of it's helped me grow spiritually, because I think it's shown me that God's plan is real, and he's blessed me. And you know what I mean by blessing, Michael, with the truth. And so that's how it's changed my life. And I say that by no means am I trying to downplay that. It truly is a blessing to me, and I know my team feels that way, so I can speak for them. But it's more about um, the truth coming forward. That's what's happened for me. I always say, some people chase their tail, and to really find out the truth, I think it's been a blessing for us to have asked God, for this truth. And so absolutely it's changed my life, and I believe for the better. It's made me a better person.
Can I ask you to? I wanted to. We're going to get to Dale on that question, but Barry, I wanted to ask you. So you've got a team, right? And you've also brought people along and tutored people and stuff. And so, talk about maybe the most miraculous change you've seen in one of the people that you brought into introduced to it. Like maybe somebody who had like a bad past or just was bitter or something, and just completely life transforming. Anything like that?
Well, I think maybe a couple people. Um, One of my cousins was battling addiction, and he he's actually getting help now, and he realizes that he's seen a whole new perspective on our approach, and that God really does play a part in this. And with that, it's changed his life, so to speak, because he's really trying to stay sober now and drug free.
And the
So
Sasquatch gave him that hope. And that
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely, that enlightenment.
And what about the other guy?
The other guy,
The other guy you said was troubled or whatever, turned his life around, or maybe not troubled, but
yeah, the I think I had maybe a team member who was riding the fence about it, and then it's changed all of our lives, because there's the three Godhead, God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. And once they feel the Holy Spirit there through prayer, you know, it really makes them understand. Then they experience the interaction. Then it's a whole different ball game. You know, they become believers, and they start to know that didn't happen. That wouldn't have happened without God. So really, it's kind of been a blessing in disguise for us.
Yeah, and it's a blessing that you can also see that they are of God, and that you don't see that they're opposed, or that they're, you know, some people think you can't believe in both, but I don't see a conflict myself, but
Yeah.
which is good. So Dale,
Dale. Yeah, Dale. Ask Dale. I think
I'm asking Dale. Yeah, Dale, go ahead.
okay.
Wow, you know. So there's so much on point with that, you know. The spiritual being, the it's gosh, I had something I had was thinking out there. I know I lost it, but
We wanted to ask you, how have they changed your life since your
yeah,
relationship with Sasquatch?
you know, it has been nothing short of amazing. It's to be to walk among them, to be a part of them is humbling, and it's, I came from background, being raised and stuff that was not not uh, not really too much love, you know, and to be embraced by them is, I've literally just broke down and, you know, sobbed, you know, in tears. The the effort that they're all going through right now in this ascension process, collectively, for everybody, you know, for everybody that's watching, for, you know, anybody that has an interest, you know, if you go out looking with your heart, you'll find them, and they will connect with you if you go out there. Now I'm getting, God, I gotta remember what I was wanting to say there. Dang it. Please, I'm in a lot of pain. I just hurt my back here like 15 minutes before I came on here, so it's just
I'm
really
sorry to hear that.
distracting.
That's okay. That's okay.
When I connected with them, it opened a world to me that is second. You know, if you've been able to observe my work and stuff over the past 6 years, you see it's probably different than anybody's. You know. With that being said, this ascension that we're part of, this they have helped me to elevate myself so much. I guess this is where I'm going with this. They have man, just taken me in. The things that happen around me are amazing, like you've seen. You know, you've witnessed that firsthand, Brian. You've gone there, you know, into the area I call Squatchville, and And, you saw that inverted tree, you know.
Mhm.
I've seen things with, the feet the size of sedans, Um, God, sorry, man.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, you said you saw some guy that was what, 50 feet tall or something.
Approximately, yeah. 48 is what comes to mind. Uh, and yeah, his name is Ken Jira. And I first experienced him on what I refer to as my test day, or Alfred Hitchcock at the amphitheater. I've called it, written it both ways. But I mean, when I first experienced him, and he kind of like bluff charged, and I stopped and turned around. I wanted to see it. I wasn't going to outrun it, whatever it was. So I just wanted to see what it was. I never did see it, but I was literally being bounced off the ground as I was starting to, walk away. And I just, anyways, that 2 years later, he was down in my camp there, and if I were as Inspector Gadget, I would be rich with all the stuff that's happened around me, and for one reason or another, I'm not always prepared for it. But their mission, their collective mission with all of us is for the sake of this world, for the sake of this planet, for the sake of humanity, and them them raising their voices the best they can in different ways. And I mean, it sounds bad that we find these animals, hanging in the trees and stuff. People that are, these structures that are being built. Gosh, I am so sorry, man. I am in so much pain, you guys. I can't think straight.
That's fine, girl. You're doing okay. Yeah, but that Inspector Gadget comment, whether I don't know. I mean, they're doing it for you. Actually, they're not doing it to get you rich. So I think if that was your intention, which it's not, then you wouldn't be getting what you are getting. What you are
conservation. It's only all it is conservation.
All right, later.
It's for you and for you to share with other people. Like it's not.
Yep. There's it's a selfless act to be able to share this with people, to be able to be around these. No, I'm not going to make any money off this. I'm not looking to make any money off it, man. I just enjoy what I'm able to share with people, and it's a very important issue at hand with conservation of, of Mother Earth. That's what Squatchville Bigfoot Amphitheater is,
A lot of people make money off of it, and that's fine. It's just if your intention and your heart is in the right place, and some people they need that just to live, right? That's their income, so that's what they're devoting their life to, and so they deserve something.
They're bringing, yeah.
But but the main motivation should be, to evolve for your own evolution and for yourself, and to share with other people. But anyway, that's my thoughts. But yeah, neither is wrong. So Barry, have you ever thought about writing a book or doing anything like that, or?
Yeah. In fact, that is in the plans. I never really had any strong intentions about it, but I think after a while you get to a point where you say, "Man, I need to share this," you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
so I'll be working with one of my team members, Thomas Potter. So again, COVID has a lot is holding up a lot of things. So, but yeah, I'm glad you asked that. That is in the plan.
You can do a lot of. I mean, I you can do a lot of writing online and just do everything pretty well without having to meet face to face. But yeah, they really like it when you're. I find that they really like it when I'm writing about them or talking about them or whatever. They love it when we're sharing. That's absolutely for sure.
You know
So,
what? And also excuse me, they appreciate uh, bringing observation of them, and as long as it's done in a positive way, they don't have a problem with you making money off it. You know, as long as it's you know. But these scary stories and stuff, I don't know. I've never experienced this. You know, I have like bluff charges to begin with, but since then, I have never experienced anything that would lead me to believe that these beings are anything less than way more evolved than us. You know,
well, I mean,
so
they test our metal though too. I mean, they tested my metal by a big bus crash, like a semi's colliding in the middle of the woods, kind of sound like boom. And if excuse me, if I had reacted out of fear and ran away and stuff, no, I mean, I think that they knew me. I mean, they called me. I mean, they called me to go to the woods. So, I got the call. But so I'm not saying that would have been how it would have worked, but it depends on how you react to those tests and whatever, right? Is how they're
yeah,
going to react to
indeed,
you, right? So,
yeah,
like if somebody doesn't necessarily have a specific calling with them or whatever, but has some kind of connection or an interest in them, and if they react with wonder and respect when they hear something like that, they're going to get a much different reaction then and moving forward than they are if they run away and like terrified and like like get aggressive or whatever. So
your whole intent is everything, and they know it. You know, bam, right off the bat. As soon as they know you're there, you know,
yeah,
they
these beings are so evolved. They know stuff. They know stuff that I didn't know 5 years before I did. They knew I was going to know it. They've shown me that
yeah,
with the glyphs and stuff. Like the time is like a funny thing for them. It's not like our 3D
Just
linear
shared the
understanding of it.
Bigfoot Odyssey.
What's
That was
that?
nice. I said we just shared the Bigfoot Odyssey.
Barry, you had any time loss stuff or anything like that go on? Any of that kind of?
Yeah, you know what? My volume's up. You guys, I can just barely hear you guys.
Oh,
Can you hear me
really?
now?
Huh?
Can you hear me now? No?
Well, I can hear you guys, but like I said, it's
Brian, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh.
I'm all right. I can hear. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can hear everybody.
I got a comment in messages. This guy Diggina says when I was
Yeah.
watching this one glide around out here, I made eye contact and felt warmth radiating from him or her. Sorry, I can't join by a camera. It just doesn't have it on my cell phone. But that's a nice little story.
Digging on, man. Yeah, he's got a relationship with them also. I don't know the story completely, but I can tell he's in touch, and you know, and they're part of his life also. So,
He said, sorry for your pain. I'm talking to you, Dale. Sorry for your pain.
oh,
He says, ask for healing. Maybe to help.
it's a good question. Yeah, why didn't I think of that?
You know why? Probably because we the last people that we ask for help for is ourselves. It seems like You know, like we want to give to everybody else or whatever, but we forget that we have to take care of ourselves too sometimes. You
Yeah.
know, and if you don't do that, then you can't take care of anybody else. So, or at least, you know, it's odd that way.
Yeah. So
Dale, tell us about some of the interaction you've had, or some of the experiences you've had since you've moved.
well, since I moved,
Right.
you know, this is I don't know. This has been a different area to, you know, this whole area is nothing but it's called the Palouse, and it's just a bunch of rolling hills and stuff. There's a lot of grain and stuff that's grown here, and stuff like that, different wheats and stuff like that. But so no trees, but I can't wait to get to them. What I've been doing here, and you know, I owe it to the follower. You know, she just she was just been an awesome person and a supportive friend, and and I think they connected us. The Sasquatch connected us back at the psychic Sasquatch gig, and slowly but surely we've just established a friendship, and she's a, you know, a really cool person, you know. But I was in a funk going through this divorce and all these setbacks, you know, my son, you know, passing away and stuff, and she just has constantly been, you know, when I least seems like when I need it the most, she chimes in and calls or you know, texts or something like that. But that is one of the observations I made within the last while. Usually they'll show up around me with as lights and stuff like that. You know, they you can look on my page and see where these lights, if they were to be to sit still, if they were to sit still, you'd think they were just stars in the sky. But and it's very low. They're very low. When I do see them, I see them sometimes come through the trees and shoot up and disappear right before our eyes and stuff. And everybody's seen this. I have yet to see that here, and so I'm kind of concerned, man. You know, I'm like, maybe this was a bad move or something, you know. But my friend there, she is what helped me get back into the page. I was disconnected, especially with this COVID deal. It pushed me over the edge, you know, and the divorce and you know, the loss of my son, and it pushed me over the edge. I was not in a good place, mentally, spiritually. So she, you know, she was she's been a blessing, and I really appreciate her friendship. But she was just, you know, the Sasquatch connected us back when there was back in 2 years ago. My wife was very cynical, very cynical of, and they've tried to show her over and over, and she just won't have any part of it, you know. And we went camping up the Blue River in Oregon there, and sorry, and we're we just had this brutal argument, and it was like the beginning of the end. Well, as soon as I found, let me back up. Back in 2014, when I connected with the Sasquatch, then was the beginning of the end for us. But that camping trip, it was just emotional. I was trying to reach out to my daughter and to my son. And I'm just reaching out to him, saying, "I don't know what to do. Should I give this up? Should I quit? You know, should I give the Bigfoot up and just focus on my marriage? You know?" And
Oh wow!
and I was just really I started sobbing. I was crying because I just wanted to do the right thing for both, you know. And they got pissed off. They pushed the tree over, you know, because my daughter was being cynical about it and stuff, and yeah, they got really upset. About that time is when this other friend showed up, and I believe with every bit of my being that they meant for us to connect. And ever since then, I've been going through, a lot of depression through this period, of being separated, getting divorced, and had my energy all messed up. I could
Hey, hang
not
on, Dale.
focus.
Hang on, Dale, for a second. Oh,
All right, sorry.
is Barry? Oh, Barry left. Okay, he just saying he had to go. Okay, well, anyway, thanks, Barry, for coming. Okay, go ahead, Dale. Thank you, Barry. You're going through a lot of depression.
So so she has been just a source of light, and like I said, they connected us up there at the Psychic Sasquatch gig up in Chihuahua or whatever it's called.
In what, 2019, right?
Now I've been able to, she's, started to let go of some of that anger and stuff to get my energy back in the flow of things, and things are coming to me quick now. Even when I'm riding and stuff, things just are really moving forward fast. I can't wait to get back out in the field, and see what else I can bring observation of, Yeah, I bring observation of some pretty strange things,
Yeah.
in ways that they choose, and I miss being out in the field really bad. I enjoy being in the mountains and the trees so much. I miss Oregon. I really do. I miss Squatchville.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. How did you manage to? I mean, you must be really missing that place. That was like your home.
Yeah, yep. Kind of my clan there. I am, like you. I'm, like some of us were marked, and it doesn't matter. They're, like you say, they're always around us.
Yeah. So have you made connections with another clan where you are now, or is it the same clan? Just
I haven't been able to get out yet here. I haven't been able to get out. It's too much snow.
Oh, okay. So you don't. So okay. So see, I guess that's unique. Well, I don't know unique to me because other people feel it. So you don't feel them like I feel them like right now. Like I feel them all the time. You don't feel them at home.
No, I know they're there. Yeah, I don't have, no, I already know. If I want to, communicate, I just think about it,
Well,
but when
that's
my
what I mean.
energies,
But you can't feel their energy like during the day, whatever. Just like by.
Not like you do. No.
Oh, okay.
No. No. It's different. Mine is more mind speak throughout the day. And I know they're there, they'll go for rides with me. I know that sounds crazy, but they do,
No, I've heard that. I've heard that before. I know Tom Cantrella said he's had them going for a ride with him in the car. I thought Tom was going to join us actually at one point, but we'll drop him a line in a minute. But yeah.
That was that weekend. It was that camp out with Bigfoot Community, and back in the summer 2014, where I was people I camped with and stuff there at Willow Creek. Hooked up with Tom, and they had some really amazing experiences. These are people that are just really close to my heart. Now they're beautiful souls. It's so Sasquatch are amazing, and that's when I took that picture of that slab of wood. That changed my whole freaking life. It's when I took that picture, it changed everything for me.
Tell us about that again.
It's a slab of wood that is there on the coast at this rock shot, and we were going to left Willow Creek, and we're going to the coast to see the trees of mystery, and stopped at this rock shot, and there's a slab of wood sitting in the window there. I took a picture of it, because I just thought it was so cool. It looks like a Sasquatch. Its eyes are just on knots of wood, but it looks like a Sasquatch,
Mm-hmm.
And so I took this picture, and later in the day, sitting around the fire, I was listening to, some friends were showing me some stuff that they had got when they were out squatching, pictures and stuff like that of really strange things, and I looked over at Arla,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like is this true? And she, she's like, yeah, but in that moment I felt like poof. And that is one way they do it. If I'm not listening well enough, they'll do it physically. And after that, they started mind speaking to me. And this is back when some really negative stuff was going on, as far as people within the Bigfoot community.
When they mind speak with you, can you describe that? Is it their voice? Is it your voice? Is it thought impression?
It's always in my voice. Always in my voice. Always in my voice.
Okay.
And oftentimes it'll come to me like it feels much like putting your hand in front of a loud subwoofer. It'll touch my head like that.
What? Why are you moving around so much? Is it
pain?
Oh, okay.
Sorry, man. Yeah.
No, that's okay. Sorry. So
me too, man.
So tell us what are some of the tell us some of the significant things that they've told you through MindSpeak. Some of the real like things that you thought were significant or that you really took notice of. Are they all personal, or are they like things of a universal nature, or both? Or
Yeah, well, like when I'm sitting down to work on my page or something, they instantly I'm connected with them right there. I am anyways, but it gets more intense. It gets so intense with that energy that my soon-to-be ex-wife was like, I don't know what the hell you're doing in here, Del, but you could cut the energy with a knife in here, you know. And I'm just, when I'm really locked on to them, if it's various things, I could be talking about personal well-being, you know, raising my energy, letting things clear out as far as removing negative energy. They have healed me. They do heal me. They haven't done this. They haven't done this back yet, though. So
I suggest you get them to do it.
Yeah, I'll try to get in touch with them. But you know, they're good to hash things out with. You know, for personal, to raise your consciousness, to raise your existence.
Yeah. So what was the?
I've gone through things with them. You know, had a you know addiction problems. You know, I've they've helped me to overcome that. You know, and you know that in itself has been very powerful to get through. You know, they are they're a blessing to me. You know, they really are. When I went through that well, since 14, you know, just all that negative energy in the house, because my wife had become so cynical and of everything. It was really, sometimes it's just hard to sit down and clearly connect with them in that environment. Then with the deaths and the COVID and everything, man, I was in a bad place for a while there, you know, and I relapsed, you know. My son died. Well, my grandmother, then my son, and then my mother, and then COVID hit, and all that in 2 years, and I went off the deep end. You know, I told you a little bit about it, camping when we were at Sean and Lisa's wedding. You know,
It's a lot to handle, yeah.
Yeah, I just, man, you know, I didn't want to be here anymore. I just wanted, you know, to go be with my son.
So how have the Sasquatch helped you through it? What have they done for you? Have they been helping you in their way?
They are, you know, yeah, they realize, you know, for a while there, I just had to work on myself, you know, get through that negative part, and becomes it just came to a head, and everything fell apart, you know. But it's a new beginning. There, you know, haven't been able to get out and about, like I was saying, but you know, they're very much in touch with me now, and are very uh, eager to get back to work. You know, they knew it was going to take a while, and and that's more than anything. They're like, Dale, you're in a time uh, of healing. And there's no timetable to that. Still isn't. I still uh, allowed myself to fall into depression, I guess you could say. Because it's just been a lot to handle, right? I mean, even with the COVID thing, it just like
Yeah.
I when that hit, it just pushed me over the edge. I started yelling at people. People like at the grocery store, if they would if they said something wrong, I'd start yelling at them, and I couldn't control myself. I was, a lot of my inside was just eaten up with chaos. And more than anything, that's what they're saying is they'll just take the time and heal and allow time to distance yourself from those emotions. And
I feel just the opposite. I think what you need to do is go out in the woods, someplace where it's private, and then start screaming and scream about all the pain and scream about all the people you're angry at, and just keep screaming, because all that stuff still bottled up inside. You got to let it out. Let it out in nature, and nature will take it, and that'll reset your whole body. You know what I mean? Because that pain, all pain has an emotional component to it, and you got to let those emotions out.
Yeah. The other thing is you can. Go ahead.
You can't just sit on them. You know what I mean? And then wait. Let them out.
Real.
Scream, and don't stop screaming until your whole world changes. That's the most healing thing you can do.
The other thing is the mind or whatever, the ego and everything lives in the mind. It's very protective of your stories and whatever, the mind. And those stories are lies or whatever. What you have to do when
your mind's the biggest problem. If you
So what the thing is that when you feel these emotions coming on or whatever, and it actually works, you've got to try to you've got to feel it. Where do you feel it in your body?
Right now,
where do you feel it in your body? You feel it in your stomach, in your heart, wherever, and then concentrate on it in that place. Put it there. Work through it. Work through it there. That's right. The only way. That's the only way you can work through it, because if you're never going to work through it,
man, it's a vibrational frequency. When you get pain, it's a vibrational frequency.
You're never going to work through it in your head.
It'll go away.
You're never going to work through it in your head. You got to work through it in where you're feeling it in your body energetically.
Agreed. And it's improving though. It is, and I can't wait to get back to the trees. I was, I went down to.
Well, what's stopping you? What's stopping you? I'm out there.
Right now, my back.
Okay. I understand that.
But no, that just happened. That just happened like a few minutes before we started this. But
I mean, because honestly, Dale, because for me, I mean, I don't like. I mean, but I try to raise my vibration. I try not to live in the fear of all these negativity and these emotions, or whatever. So. Yeah, like try to be in that state anyway. But I mean, for me, the COVID thing has not affected me.
Pain is a call for action. When you're in pain, you got to do something. It's just like, do something now. That's what pain says. Call for action. I'm hurting. Ouch. You know what I mean? You got to, we were born crying, and we don't start dying until we stop crying. So when you start crying again and rage it out and rant, you can do it. Get in your car and just drive out someplace and just rage in your car, where you're just sitting down. You don't have to get out and walk, and just let it out. Because if you let it out, it's going to take the pressure off and reset your nervous system.
That's why things haven't changed that much for me. I just go out and I walk in the woods. There's nobody there. I mean, I'm not scared of catching anything anywhere or like, people coming close to me. But I mean,
He's not
it
in
doesn't
emotional
affect me
pain
too much
here.
because
He
I'm
is.
just out there experiencing the same things I've always been doing out in nature and just, and,
Yeah, but you don't have a big backlog of emotional pressure like he does with all this tragic stuff that's happening to him. He's got to let that stuff out.
yeah, well, that's where you do it. You
It's
go out
too
there and you
much to
let it
hold
out.
inside, that's for sure.
Yeah, you go out there and you let it out or however you can do it. But I'm just saying, when
Yeah,
people
it's,
say, when people
it's a
say they
little,
can't get out, people say they can't get out or whatever, unless you're like, like you get that back or whatever. I say, why can't you get out? What's stopping you? Go out in the woods. Go sit in the woods.
we get right up to the trees and there's too much snow here. So that's what has prevented me from getting in the woods. And I mean, the roads, have a couple of feet of snow on them. So I have to wait for it to melt off before I can get there.
How
And
many,
there aren't,
is your house like, you got houses all around it, or are you out, you got a house all by itself?
no, it's houses all around. Yeah.
Why did you make the
Turn
move?
up the stereo and make a little, get some music going and just scream right there in your house. I used to teach that stuff. I had police come up to my house because we were screaming so loud.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
would you? Why would
But
you
I tell
leave
you
the?
what, it's the most powerful thing you can do to heal yourself, you know?
Why did you leave the Sasquatch Amphitheater? And I mean, why would you leave that place to go to Washington?
My head was so messed up. You know, it just gone through the last 7 years of devoting all that time to my wife and getting her through school to get her nursing degree and stuff. And she got her, she, she passed her test, got her license, and pulled the rug out, and said, I want a divorce. And, you know, I kind of partially expected it in a way, but so that hurt my income, having to relocate out to here. I wasn't thinking straight. Bottom line, uh, my daughter lives about 30 miles from here, and but they moved. He got a different job, and so they had to move. But this was the reason I came here, was to connect with her more. And then they left, and so now I'm scratching my head saying, why am I here? I want to get back there desperately, desperately.
Well, is anything holding you there?
Um, yeah, I've got some medical things going on that I need to see through, before I can uh, move back. It doesn't matter though. I mean, anywhere I go, they will work with me. It doesn't matter. So even though I'm like 30 miles from the trees here, as soon as I get there, and they'll, it's hard to say what will happen, but they always send me home with something, to add to my page and stuff like that, like that. I don't know if you guys ever saw that spider web that was blowing in the wind, and it was changing just the beautiful spectrum of colors on it, like like a rainbow. And I'm like, what the heck is doing it? You couldn't see it, And I put my phone up and started recording it, and the phone could pick up the ultra ultraviolet rays coming through and hitting that spider web. It was like it was one beam heading, many colors going and hitting that spider web. It was beautiful. And you know, or like what Brian, Brian and I, when we were up there, them doing that stuff with the clouds, they, that's what I do. That's what I bring observation of. As soon as I get into the field, You know, it's a different place, and they're always around me. Everybody I take has a blast, and they all want to go back.
It's interesting that thing with the clouds, because I
Yeah,
experienced that up in my area too one time. Sue and I
yeah,
were camping way back in the, spending 3 days way back in the woods, and there was not a cloud in the sky.
yeah, yeah. Right.
All of a sudden, this Welcome X appeared in the sky, perfectly shaped, balanced. Everything was perfect. It just came out of nothing. Then it changed into a question mark, even with the dot on the bottom. It was so precise. And then it was like a Looney Tunes cartoon show. And like we were like perfectly straight too. Like we were, it was like bizarre.
Right.
And,
Right.
I guess they were putting the last of the Looney Tunes cartoons out before they got rid of them all. But anyway, we got to see that too. But anyway, hello, Azur. How are you?
Azure Ray, Blu-ray, Blu-ray.
Azure, the Blu-ray,
Is
Yeah,
Windwalker.
is it Azure or
Azure Ray.
Azure? Okay.
Azure,
Well, welcome,
Azure.
welcome.
Glad to
I
have
can
you on the
only
show
be here for,
today.
huh?
Azure, glad to have you on the show today.
Woo! Poet and
Woo.
you don't know it.
See, it's nice
I
to
can
get
only
the.
be here a minute because I've got people coming over to help me put out my garden. Or at least,
Give us the minute. Give us a minute of good stories or good vibes or good whatever.
well, I just wanted to make a comment about uh, the purpose of the um, meeting was talking about how Sasquatch has changed your life.
Yeah.
Um, I come at it in a little bit different way from some people because I've been practicing and teaching practical shamanism and nature spirit energy medicine for like 30 or 40 years, something like that. And I teach classes on working with the fairies and the little people and stuff like that because we have a lot of them around here. And what I had attributed to the little people, like stealing crystals from me and doing good stuff, doing a lot of good stuff. Uh, Turns out some of it was Sasquatch, which I really didn't know that much about, although I'd had a couple experiences until I started following Brian and learning about the glyphs and recognizing the glyphs and stuff like that. Uh, I realized what was going on. But I tell you what, like during COVID, a lot of people, are going crazy. I got 30 acres of really blessed high vibe property to run around in. Although after my wreck, um, I don't venture out too far by myself, but I can go to the gifting spot in the spring and places like that. And it's really helped me a lot because it's uplifting and I don't get bored. A lot of people have been so bored. And I'm just, I'm never bored because there's always something new. And there's mine talking with Lady Sasquatch and I'm so excited. I found a footprint the other day and it was really funny. This man came over, his wife and another gal had taken the fairy workshop. And I says, well, let's go out to the meditation garden. I want you to meet the angel because we have a resident angel that's out there. And like not too far from the house, he says, I smell something and it's sweet and it's musky. And I went, well, guess what? You just met Lady Sasquatch. And he says, oh, yeah, well, that's cool. So I had told him before they come to like bring some Kentucky Fried Chicken or something that they could give to the Sasquatch, which they did. I ate a few pieces, but mostly the Sasquatch has got like a whole Kentucky Fried Chicken barrel, as well as peanut butter and some of the other things that chocolate. And then we went to meditate, and then on the way back, sure enough, I found that footprint, like and you could see the toes really good, but it wasn't very big because I wear 7.5. and it was only about 4 inches bigger than my foot. So I don't know whether it's the juvenile, which I call Buddy, or it could be the baby girl, who I guess is 1 year old. Any idea how big the feet are?
Well, if it's bigger
At
than
one,
yours, I don't think it's 1 year old. Probably the
oh, so I
juvenile.
guess it's
So
Buddy.
they were what, about 11, 12 inches long?
Okay, that would be about right. Like for a juvenile.
Yeah, like a juvenile is not much bigger than a regular person's foot. Might be a little wider or something. Or actually, they're quite thin sometimes when they're young too. So, uh,
Well,
but
this
yeah,
one was
it
fairly
sounds like a
thin.
juvenile.
Yeah, so Buddy's an interesting character. Uh, every time I would have a healing session out, we have a barn that we've redone that looks all southwesterny, and that's where I do classes in my healing work. And every time I would have a session, he'd start throwing rocks up on the roof, and it's a metal roof. you know, the, then one time, I don't know how he did it. He must have thrown like a whole handful, so it sounded like being on the inside of a rain stick. It was crazy. And um, then, oh, I guess about a month ago, uh, I was working on a lady who has come here for a long time over the years, and she brought a friend of hers that works for her. She's a vet, and they were filming it on a GoPro. And when I'm working on people, I'm halfway in a trance. I don't know what's going on, and after it was over, we kind of have a review, like what did you feel, all that kind of stuff. And uh, Chris said, well, like at one point during the thing, there were two beings, one at her head, one at her feet, and the one at the feet raised the blanket up off the table. So the blanket was like that. And I checked in and I says, okay, was it Buddy the Sasquatch? And I go, yeah. He was like, I had invited him before, you know, if you want to learn, you can stand at the door and watch. But it was cold. And so he just came in and he lifted the blanket up about this far. And the other being was a spirit guide of the lady. But, uh, he's hilarious. He does all kinds of crazy things.
What kind of messages are they giving you? Do they mind speak with you, or how do they communicate with you?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm part of my job is being psychic, and so mind speaking is no real problem for me. um I haven't really sat down and talked too much about the future and such, but uh, I think it was in fall. I went out with the lady who studied with me for a while, way back at the end of the property where we have a medicine wheel, and there's one of the big tree X's and stuff that there, and I found a little structure. It wasn't real fancy like you get, Brian. They don't. The Sasquatches around here aren't as fancy with their you know artistic structures
Mm-hmm.
as yours are. But still, we could feel the energy from it. And so I told my friend to put her hands out and kind of read it like psychometry. And what she got was, don't worry about it. It's all going to be okay. And then what they told me was come out in the woods more often and talk and have more fun. So
Do
that's
they
great advice for everybody.
do they have a
That's where
message
I
for
want to go.
Do they have a message for Mr. Beans?
Mr. Bean.
I'm not in that mode right now. I'm in dog mode. Um, but if Vince wants to call me up separately sometime, I might be able to. But what else have they been talking about? Oh, I did want to put this in there. Um, there's a lady in England who's a big follower of those the Sasquatch experiencers down there in Arkansas, Mr. King and his wife.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
well, there's a I found it's
Rachel and Ken King.
yeah, she's a follower of them and is kind of doing the same thing in England. And I mean, there's a big clan, and she goes out in the woods and she gifts them, and she hears things and stuff like that. Well, at one point, she said something about them cloaking, um, and I received information. It's not correct to say that they're cloaking because that means that they're trying to hide from us, or I mean, now and then they are going to, but the fact of the matter is that they live in fifth and sixth and the masters in seventh dimension reality, and they're just going back to where they live ordinarily in that dimension, and now and then they'll show up in the physical world because they like to experience the physical world and eat berries and see the trees and stuff like that. But their natural habitat is fifth dimensional reality, which and sometimes sixth, which is where the little people live and where we're going to, and where a lot of us are touching fairly often, and more and more and more. So the closer that we get, the higher vibe we get, the closer we get to fifth dimensional reality within ourselves, the better our communication with them will be because that's where they are.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat?